everyone, Jeff here, just sending out another update talking about our journey as our family and as a community towards Seaside Kauai. And the topic I wanted to talk about today was one that I grew up with, one I struggled with as a kid, and one that really for me is one that I've been shaped in over the last few years as we've been here at Seaside in Bremerton. And the question is why do we need another church community? When I grew up in a small town in Eastern Oregon, there was 14 churches or more in a town of about 3,600 people. So in that small of a community, we had these little pockets of small churches, and none of them were very big, and none of them were really doing anything spectacular. They all were kind of doing their own thing. And so my desire when I was growing up was like, why can't these churches just get together? Why can't they just get along, sort of like Rodney King? Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we just all be doing something together and seeing God glorified? And everyone in the world will see we're one, and we'll see this big revival. And all those things were possible. And I'm not saying that in that particular situation it wouldn't have been a good thing. But we've been here in Seaside at Bremerton, and one of the things that we've been learning, one of the things that God's really impressed upon, at least my heart, is the idea that a particular church or church community, or even a few church communities, probably don't really have the corner on the creativity of God. And so as we go into an area like Kauai, it isn't our desire to say, hey, there's nothing good here. There's no good communities. There's no good churches here. In fact, there's plenty of churches there that are serving the Lord, that are growing people up, that are making disciples, that are doing the work of God. But no church, no particular group of churches exemplifies the total characteristics and creativity of what to us is an infinitely creative God. And so there's always space for God to call men and to call people and families into community. And His desire to work in us is far more important than necessarily our ideas of going, well, do we really need another church? Because we're continuing to target people that are in particular places and particular forms of life, seeking to be able to declare who God is to their particular place and their particular style. And in our calling in going to Seaside Kauai is to start a community of grace, and that has a lot of characteristics that we'll talk about probably in another video. But in this particular setup, it's us going, we're called to go there. Now, this has a bunch of other implications. This means that many people who start church communities or plant church communities, they typically can start them because of how they think that they have a better idea than anybody else of what church community should look like, or they think they finally have the thing, or they're angry at how things were. And so out of their own hearts, out of their own desires to manufacture something better, bigger, they go and start a new community to show everybody what it can really be like. But that's not expressing the creativity of God. That's expressing the creativity of man and the wisdom of man. Instead, if you're involved or you're part of a church community, or considering being in charge of a church community that's going to plant other communities, we should be seeking, and we say this as well, we should be seeking an infinitely creative God, asking Him, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to drive here? What is the foundational purpose of your truth? How's this particular aspect of the bride being expressed in this place so that we can more fully declare who you are, according to what 1 Peter says, declaring the mighty deeds of God abroad, declaring who He is, preaching about who God is so that people can see their lives restored and redeemed into the image of God and the image of Christ so that they can continually grow in Him till He takes them home. So that's kind of a picture of why we're seeding a church in Kauai. Our desire and our calling is to continue to express the particular giftings that God has given us as a team, the particular giftings and calling that He's put before us, and to continue to declare in all things, alongside the body of Christ that already exists there, a great God that we desire people to know and to grow into. Hope that's clear. If you have any questions, let us know at kauai@seasidechurch.com. We'd love to hear from you. Hope you guys are doing well today. Talk to you next time.